this era of online instant gratification, robo-advisors, and day trading, investors are gripped by an online addiction, and advisors, it's hampering your practice. Joined today by Zack Shepard of Matson Money. Zack, welcome. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
How big of a problem is this?
I can tell you it's a massive problem. The industry is suffering a little bit with regard to all of these robo-advisors, and this is really actually nothing new. The online trading is something that's been around since the mid-90s. So this is not a new phenomenon, but it is more in your face. So when you look at what's happening out there and how it's taking grips with investors, it is a dark, scary place. We've seen it from the inside. We've done a lot of studies, and there is a lot of trading and a lot of addiction, if you will, happening on the inside.
So how is social media and the 24-hour news cycle that's constantly leading advisors to see their investors and clients making bad decisions?
Well, they're leading them down, the social media and the media itself are leading investors down a path that can be destructive. Because everybody's looking at the next 5 seconds with regard to the way we tune into the media and social media. And when that happens, we start to get gripped with fear and greed, and we start to make dramatically horrible decisions when it comes to portfolio.
So what do you recommend, Zack? What do you think advisors can do to change this bad behavior?
I think what they can do is they can embrace the community. Because I think when you're in a community, you can start to overcome some problems out there and negate the negativity that's out there in the world. And when you become part of a community and you host events and you have people, in a group lifting each other up, they don't want to get caught in the speculating and gambling and the addiction that happens online. They'd much rather be in an environment that's helpful to them.
So this is actually a face-to-face community with the clients that you have. It's not so much this robo mentality then.
Absolutely. Look, the online cannot solve this problem. That's what it comes down to.
And that's amazing because robo has taken over, right? Everybody's asking, I can do it faster, I can do it cheaper, I can do it easier, but what you're saying is you got to do it smarter.
Yes, you do. Faster, cheaper, easier is not the way to go. You need to understand exactly what you're looking at, what you're doing, and why, and you need to understand all components. Look, I just talked about engineering and execution and fees and how important that is to the return equation, and a lot of these companies are just ignoring engineering and execution. They're not even talking about that. They're making you focus on fees, and it is the wrong thing to focus on.
So walk us through it. What are some of the warning signs then in terms of what advisors should be looking for to keep their clients away from bad behavior?
Well, I don't think advisors actually need warning signs because the studies out there show that 75% of clients that are with advisors have online accounts. So if you're wondering if they're cheating on you, they are.
So last question then, what's the first step? You mentioned joining a community and creating this community. What's kind of a good first step to helping advisors combat this problem their clients are facing?
Just like any addiction, the first step is hitting bottom. And until you realize what's going on inside these things, we're gonna talk about this in a big presentation, but until you realize what's happening inside these spaces, you may not even realize they are addicting. Until the wool gets pulled back from the investor's eyes, and then they start to understand it, then they have to hit bottom. And they have to admit that they can't do it on their own, and they have to have pain. Unfortunately, they have to have pain, and they have to experience it, and then they have to admit to the advisor that they need help. And then the advisor's there to help, and that's how it works.
Absolutely. I think you've got some really important things here with online addiction. Thanks so much for taking the time to join us, and thanks so much for having us here at this event.
Thanks a lot, Matt.
Excellent. For Investment News, I'm Matt Ackerman.